We doing here? How we doing? All right. What's going on, party people? At least we here. We're back at it. We got another one here for you guys tonight. Now, if this is your first time, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you in. What we do here, well, you're about to find out. We talk about spirituality. All right. So technically, we talk about you and I. You know, the shit that we go through. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know, our evolution in this life, and that's what pretty much what spirituality is all about. You know, it pretty much embodies our experiences in the life that you're living. Now, with no further, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to also thank the people who are coming back. You know what I'm saying? You in for one. You know, it's a holy communion. You know, you're going to love this here. So now, with no further ado, let's delve right into it, right? So, my God, man, the past couple of days, especially, I think it was, when was it, last night, or this morning. My God, man, spirit was just fucking me up. Getting a whole lot of downloads. But anyway, as you see the title of this video here, we're going to talk about the sacrificial lamb. What is that? And, you know, how does that pertain into our life? I was going to say our spiritual life, but fuck it, our life. Because, anyway, to get back to the point here, we all know in this life, sacrifices are important. You got to sacrifice, man. You want a greater life? You got to sacrifice. That's the way it goes. You see what I'm saying? Now, you have my nerds, at one point they were studying while other niggas was hanging out. You see what I'm saying? Like, niggas always tell you that shit. Shit, hell, I heard Wycliffe was saying, yo, you got to find something that you'll be able to do for like 24 hours. So, I'm saying all of that to say, that right there, it's sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? It may not look as such, but it is, because now, where I'm going with this, though, it's like the ultimate sacrifice. It's you. You have to sacrifice yourself. And that's exactly what the Christ did, because you got to keep in mind, when we're talking about the Christ, we're talking about a higher state of consciousness. Or another way of saying this, it's a transformation of consciousness. But for you to transform, just like that caterpillar, you know what I'm saying? That's the process. That's the sacrifice. Now, that's the shit right there that scare a lot of people. And that's why a lot of people are not able to go from point A to point B because of that transformation. We hear it all the time. People are afraid of what? Of change. Right? You said it. I said it. I don't know how much of it you know, but, everybody's saying it. But when you truly understand why people do that, is because now you're stepping into unknown territory. So therefore, people don't want to take that leap of faith. But most importantly, I'm also going to tell you this is what the whole Jesus sacrifice was about. You see, it's important. A lot of people, if you don't see yourself as Jesus, as you're reading the Bible, like the Jesus story, you're just missing out. You're numbing yourself instead of that word is supposed to bring you life. Meaning, through the understanding of what you're reading, that's how the word's being made flesh, meaning you become that. Not to become numb to it because you don't apply it to you. And that's pretty much what's happening with Christianity. Do you see what I'm saying? Hold up, let me get my shit, niggas. I'm saying, first of all, I'm saying, we gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do our thing. Our thing. All right, now that we did that thing, let's move on to the next thing. You feel me? Okay, maybe not you. Oh, shit, this is dead. We just gotta go all out on this one. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had a couple, just butt heads and shit. We're gonna get down and dirty, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk this shit here, right now. So therefore, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the ultimate sacrifice. And just to recap real quick, I was telling you about how important it is in this personal life. And I'm just saying on a lower scale, how sacrifice, means a lot. So if you sacrifice your friends, you do all that shit, you know what I'm saying? You always see it with the fucking, with the nerds. Now they're the one with all the bitches. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, metaverse and all that shit, right? But what that really tells us, because you got to understand, as it is within, so it is without. So this is showing you on a lower scale, if you're able to sacrifice just a little bit of pleasure for you to get the ultimate pleasure. Because think about it, man. Listen, man. Becoming a nerd, having a mention and a party with all those fly bitches, nigga, that's the ultimate, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga didn't have to, have games, none of that shit. So, I'm saying all of that to say, you got to sacrifice to get the ultimate pleasure. So the sacrificial lamb, the sacrifice that Jesus did for the world, you got to understand what that means. Because as, let me take it back. I am your spiritual healer. So therefore, I help you to become whole. Okay? And the way that I do that, by helping you to get yourself back together. I'm patching you up, nigga. I'm your doctor, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I know what you did. That's what you did. Yeah, motherfucker, you shouldn't do that. But anyway, most importantly, I am that guide. Do you see what I'm saying? And, so is a lot of ascended masters. That's what we do. That's what we came here to do. We talk our shit. That would help you to elevate. You feel me? It's okay. You don't have to thank me in person, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just let them know what I'm doing down here. Tell them what you see. Say what? This nigga left me down here. This nigga's having too much fun. He's smoking and drinking. Tell these niggas, you see me drinking and smoking, nigga. Straight up. That's what we're doing down here. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. We got some shit to speak about. So now with that being said, by you understanding how important sacrifice is, then now we're talking about the ultimate sacrifice, which is the sacrificial lamb, most importantly, which is you. Because I also was talking about, let's just say, those nerds, and I'm just using this for lack of better terms. Not just those nerds. You have guys like 50 Cent that did the same thing. All those music niggas, all right? They all know all about sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hanging out. We're standing in here. We're popping them shit. That's what we're doing. That's the hustle, baby. What are we talking about? That's what we're talking about. Another way of saying that, too, is your passion, your bliss. Right? So you have to sacrifice other part of you, for that ultimate self. And now, as your spiritual healer, that's why I had to back it up a little bit, so you understand what's taking place here. Because the true master, what we do is, specifically, what we all do, and what I also do, it's pretty much combine all the different teachings into one. In other words, I see the connection. That's why a nigga like me, I could talk to you about voodoo. I could talk to you about the Christ. I could talk to you about masonry. Whatever the fuck you want to talk about, nigga. You want to talk about the Gnostics? Nigga, I'm shit. How you want it? You know what I'm saying? But the beauty in all of that is being able to, because I had to go through all of it too. For me to find the connection, better yet, the greater understanding, for me to transcend all of that, I had to go through it. So now, when we get back to what we're talking about, when we talk about the Christ, him having to pray under the tree, And we know tree represent knowledge and all of that. And saying God, even in his witness, because that is going to be his transformation. And he knows it's the best thing that he had to do. And shit, nigga, I did that too, nigga. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, for you to transform to become being born again, which is a transformation of your consciousness. I mean, there's so many different ways of saying it, but yet you're talking about the same thing. That's where the master is able to connect all of it together. So in so many words, when you talk about the cross, when you're holding that, that's why the resurrection is the key to Christ. Meaning the transformation of your consciousness. You dying. But for you to die, for you to become that new person, you gotta do that ultimate sacrifice. And what are you sacrificing? Let's talk about it here. So this is the thing that I always talk about. The ego, the false self, and then now you have your true self, which is yourself. So we all were pretty much brought up in, being someone that we're not. And we were rewarded for it. That's the way to be. When we talk about society, that's what society is. It's the norm. So the minute you don't fall into those categories, you become the anomaly. A bad boy. Why? Because now you're not conforming to that bullshit. And that bullshit pretty much turns you into average, because now everybody's talking the same. Now everybody's acting the same. And the more fake that you are, the faker that you are, the better that you are. That's why you don't have any self-esteem. For you to have any type of self-esteem, you would have to start with the self. So, no, this is not a coincidence. This is happening because it's supposed to happen. It's okay. It's all part of the game, baby. That's why you've been having masters that came down, and you have other masters that left their work for you motherfuckers to wake up to it. But before you could do anything, that sacrificial lamb, you got to sacrifice yourself, King. That's your key to transformation. Not just sacrificing, certain pleasure. I'm talking about your whole full self. Meaning your whole conception of what the world used to be. Or what you knew. Or how comfortable it is for you to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? So people who don't know quite, because that's why I don't judge people. I had to understand that. I had to go through it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like people with low self-esteem, hey, that's how they were brought up. They were conditioned to have low self-esteem. So that's why for me, you technically mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. But a nigga who's trying to change, now that's something else. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the gods have their arms open for you. But that's a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's why God takes pleasure in gods. That's why the shit that I'm talking about here, it's not for the dead, it's for the living. It's for the one who felt like there's something wrong here. Or I'm trying to get my life better. Or who's about to make that sacrifice, but who doesn't know, who's under that tree. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, yeah. You got to do it. You got to die, baby. You got to die. You got to let it all go. And that's the basis of the foundation of transforming or reaching that Christ state of mind. That's what they're talking about. Sacrificing. So meaning now, everything you knew about society, you're saying, fuck it, I'm going to follow myself. Hello? Hi? So I'm doing this shit. I'm following myself. I'm sucking my own dick, nigga. That's the ultimate sacrifice. But of course, you got to keep in mind, hey, it's gonna be lonely, man. And that's why I always tell people, quite often when we talk about spirituality, it's always lovey-dovey. So that's good too. That's good too. Yeah, it has its, it's good. We ain't saying nothing bad about that. You know what I'm saying? But just like I always say, when we talk about being optimistic, it doesn't mean you are negating the negativity. It means you have an optimistic perspective on things. That means you see the good and the bad. Now you're looking at the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look back at all of your fucking experiences, some of them were pretty fucked up. You were pretty mad and all that shit. But guess what, though? It gave you light, nigga. It gave you a better understanding. It added up to you. So when you start seeing things that way, so now, you know what I'm saying, problems wouldn't have any issues on you, wouldn't have the same effect on you, but the positive ones. Because now, I know for me, that's what it is. Give it to me, nigga. What kind of problem are we talking about? Because now, not even what kind of problem, what kind of lesson do I got to learn? That's going to add to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that way, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Now you becoming positive, optimistic, not negating that the problem is a fucking problem, but you know you could purge, you're going to transcend through that. And besides, you can't solve a problem with the same state of mind. So you got to, you know what I'm saying? So you got to shift. Now you got to look for the solution. That's why this motherfucker, this fucking Jewish nigga, he was on point. That was facts right there. Facts. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. That's just the way it works. Now let's get back to the whole. I even like shit, nigga. I don't even know if it's needed, but we'll see. Shit, 17 minutes. Shit, it will be needed. But anyway, I mean, it has to be done naturally too. You know what I mean? So we're talking about the ultimate sacrifice. See, a lot of people in life, I realize, especially when it comes to that spiritual route, and especially with people in church and all that shit, it all comes down to, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to another way of talking about that, okay, let me rehash the whole thing, right? Another way of talking about that, you never seen somebody that jumped from one relationship to another relationship? Like, I know that bitch is like, bitch, take a break. Nigga, take a break. Because what they're doing is they are avoiding the death. They don't want to make that ultimate sacrifice. Which is, taking an L, nigga. You got to make that ultimate sacrifice. And that's the problem that Will Smith is going through. He's not making that ultimate sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, nigga, you are not a quitter. That is facts. But you are not a winner. Not all relationship is supposed to last. But what you do about it, in fact, I don't even know why this motherfucker's worried about it. First of all, you already got a divorce from your first wife, bitch. So in reality, it's not you not being a quitter. It's truly you being a bitch. But that's a whole different conversation. But I'm saying all of this to say, I'm not coming at the brother. I'm not saying none of that shit. I'm saying all of that to say, because he's a figure, public figure, an example that we all can see, to make a point. Do you see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the kings and the pawns goes back in the same box. You heard? So we humble for the rumble. What I'm saying here is that, when you see people like that who refuse to accept, and that's what karma is. You can't run away from karma, nigga. shit's gonna get you. The more you run away from it, the worse it's gonna be. So keep running away from shit. You know what I'm saying? It could have been. It's like if you have this, because I remember this too. Shit. But anyway, I'm just gonna make it because I would have to give you the whole background story and all that shit. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This is what it was, right? Because I remember, like, I remember hitting my knee or it was actually my foot, right? And then, what the fuck was it? It's like if you have a cut, you might want to take care of it right then and there, right? Because I remember this dude was telling me, right? Because I was so sensitive and shit, and somehow water got in it. So he was trying to, like he was applying a lot of pressure, taking the water out, and that shit was hurting me. He telling me, "Yo, nigga, listen, man. If you don't take care of that shit now, later it's gonna hurt you even more." And he was not lying. What I'm saying is, sometimes y'all pay your dues, man. Don't wait till later. If the more you wait for you to pay your dues, guess what, man? The more, the bill's going up. Karma don't fuck around. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's happening is every time you see someone who doesn't acknowledge, who's not trying to acknowledge the truth, they're trying to run away from it. Fine, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Your intuition would tell you, yo, this is what I like to do. Oh, no, I want to be a lawyer. Fine, go ahead. The higher you go, the louder it's going to get, and the more, unhappy you're going to get. That's just the way it is, man. You can't run away from your karma, dog. In other words, if you don't, you have to sacrifice yourself. That is the ultimate sacrifice. If you don't do that, well, you already know. Hey, man, it is what it is. However, it's a natural evolution. You know what I'm saying? If the caterpillar doesn't want to become a butterfly, he's not going to survive. Because his survival is based on him becoming a butterfly. It's the natural order of things. You know what I'm saying? That's why you should pay your dues, man. And ain't no shortcut, baby. I wish there was. There's no shortcut. Trust me. But anyway, it all comes down to you, that ultimate sacrifice, my baby. You gotta do that ultimate sacrifice, man. Now it's time, niggas. Hey, I gotta sacrifice this real quick. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Oh, look. Make sure my shit's all even and shit. I'm sorry. We're missing out on nobody on this side. You hear me, nigga? Everybody's gonna get a piece of this shit. The ultimate sacrifice. So now, what's happening in Christianity, unfortunately, because you're looking at the Bible as, I don't know, like, how can it be useful if you're not applying it into your life? That's my philosophy. That's the way I'm looking at it. But I don't know, like, if you have a gun, right, that's your shining armor, how they like to say. And of course, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm only talking about it because it is a European state of, ideology or philosophy, representation, right? But most importantly, or ideally speaking, the whole purpose of anything And that's what our ancestors understood, even when we talk about our mythology. You know what I'm saying? That's why there was regular people in it. You know, and a lot of you may think, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't mean anything. But guess what? When you had a black president, you see how impactful it was, especially on you black niggas. So another way of me saying this, I'm showing you how important images are as well. Do you see what I'm saying? Because us as spirit, that's why a vision it could be quicker than a fucking word. And that's why we have all of our shits. Like I always tell motherfuckers, you need to have these things. Because that's how you bringing that spirit into the light, meaning into this world. You making it vivid. Another way of looking at this, if you think I'm bullshitting, and it took me some times to on that, you know, write your shit down. Have a plan. You'll see how powerful that shit is. You know, me working as an accountant, well, I am an accountant, you know, like daytime, right? So I know how important it is to write shit down. Trust me. Because you bring it into light. That's how you control your money. You have more power over it. Because sometimes you may spend some type of money that you don't have any control over. Why? Because you don't see it. It's not in your immediate sight. So when you take it out of the darkness, you bring it into light. That's how you have power over it. You remember it. You know your goals. That's why niggas, when they're trying to lose weight, they tell you all that shit. Write your shit down so you can see it. All that shit is spiritual. All of it. Because it influences you. What kind of impact it has on you. Your God is supposed to empower you. That's why you worship him. That's why we all worship him. They're supposed to look out for you, right? You know what I'm saying? Jesus, I'm having this problem. Right? Bills got to be paid, right? And by you fully activating that, and the key for you to activate it, guess what? You got to die, man. That's sacrificial lamb. It's got to be done. That's when seeking the kingdom of God and everything else will be given to you. Listen, I'm a proof of that, nigga. Niggas tell you that, yo, follow your bliss. Do the shit you love. And that same shit is the shit that's going to open up your life. You know, giving you fucking opportunities, giving you more money. That's what we're talking about. Seeking the kingdom of God and everything else will be given to you. Another way of saying that too, it's like doing God's work, which is adding values to people's life. Ultimately, that's why I always say, everybody's doing God's work, baby. Regardless of how small or how influential it is, at the end of the day, it's adding value to your life. I don't give a fuck if you listen to motherfucking Steve Harvey. You know, at the end of the day, he's giving you something that you didn't have. Now, is it the ultimate shit? Definitely not. But you didn't have it, you get to think differently, you start to open up your mind just a little. Well, sometimes that little could be all fucked up, but because a blind man will lead another blind. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fuck you up, nigga. But regardless, you know, hey, that's something you didn't have. However you want to take it. So at the end of the day, the ultimate sacrifice is going to have to be you, baby. You got to let everything go. You know, I had shit, nigga. You don't talk about sacrifices. I sacrificed all my life. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for a nigga like me to stand up for the shit that I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying, and the spiritual life, and that's what I've been telling niggas. Like, that spiritual life is not as easy as people are you know, proclaim that it is, or they always talk about, oh my God, the lovey-dovey and all that shit. Nah. You know what I'm saying? If you're a black sheep like I am or was, you know what I'm saying, you have to turn your back from your family. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. That shit is a sacrifice. And you don't sacrifice, you don't let them go because you hate them. And that's what makes the sacrifice even painful, but pleasurable. I mean, you know, the cure of the pain is in the pain. But, which is also joyful, is to let the motherfucker that you love go. Nigga, I love you, but you gotta go. It ain't personal, baby. You gotta go. You see what I'm saying? Because the ultimate sacrifice, which is myself, I would rather sacrifice you, not sacrificing me. And another way of saying that too, I'm sacrificing myself to a greater self. Myself, which is the part that loves you, that is used to you. I'm letting all of that go for a greater part, and for a greater self of me. And it takes devotion, it takes work, it takes faith, because I don't know where this is gonna end up. But I could feel it. I know it feels good though. I may not know where the shit's going, but the shit feels good like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm more shit, nigga. I'm on my toes. You hear me? You feel me? The ultimate sacrifice, man. And that's what the whole Jesus sacrifice was about. You know, for you to become the Christ, you got to sacrifice, baby. You got to kill yourself. And killing yourself is not easy. You know, especially if there's a lot of things that you're used to. And that's what the whole parable of the rich man is all about. Not because you got money, you can't go to the kingdom of God. No. It's because of what you're used to. Not necessarily rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Because, you know, a lot of times people tend to, you know, a lot of people have money, love God, motherfuckers. You better change that bullshit mentality. You know what I'm saying? Shit. A lot of niggas that got money love God, nigga. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. How can't they? You know what I'm saying? And why would they not? When you see all that blessing around you, man, how can you not love God, man? But anyway, but the bottom line of what was being said in that parable was that sometimes when you're used to things that you're used to, it's hard for you to let it go. You become attached to material shit. Or another way of saying that, you're becoming attached to things that you see, things that you know. You're worshiping idols. If it's not yourself, it's idols. So meaning at a very young age, we've been taught how to worship idol, which is someone that we are not. Not the true God. And that's what this shit is about. Do you see what I'm saying? And by you understanding or even going through that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's why you praising the material bullshit. You've been conditioned to actually think that way. You know, when you act a certain way, you're a good boy. Let me give you this same shit. I was talking about this shit. Do you guys get it? Monique got a fucking award for acting like a bitch, a whore. Neglected her kid and all that shit. Denzel Washington, same shit. Training Day. Even though I like that shit too, though. But that's on a whole different level. But I'm just saying all of that because Training Day for me, you know what I'm saying, has a whole different meaning. You hear me? It's either you break it or you make it. It's your training day, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, though, come on, man. Bro got a lot of nigga. I watch Out of Time. Nigga got classic after classic. And that's the Oscar you niggas are fighting for? Niggas are saying first time Oscar and shit. That's what you're fighting for? The whole shit's set up. Like, it's all bullshit anyway. So that's why for me, or not just for me, anybody with common sense, or I shouldn't say common sense, but with a greater understanding should understand, how do you seek to be pleased or honored in a fucked up society? That's bullshit. I don't want that. If I'm going to be honored, I'm going to be honored by honorable motherfuckers. Then my honesty means something. So that's the Oscars and the niggas are fighting for? Just saying. Just a Haitian nigga talking my shit. Who knows? Just saying. Shit, you have YouTube now. Shit, everybody else doing it. I might as well do my shit too. God damn it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you need to die for. I mean, to die to. That's the ultimate sacrifice. How do you say fuck to all that shit and putting yourself first? That's what it comes down to. And that's where that transformation, for you to reach that transformation, the Christ consciousness, to attain that, or, I mean, because that's what we're talking about. It's a transformation of your consciousness. That's it. Nothing else. That's what becoming conscious is. You're transforming your conscious. And then we say to the higher state of mind, because it goes beyond, because there's always elevation. You're always elevating. But we call this in the occult as the Christ, or the higher state of consciousness. Because now you're becoming cosmic, you get to see the other layers of consciousness, and now you can relate, or you can see them for what they are. That's what having a bigger picture is. To see the bigger picture means you're able to understand what's in front of you in all different aspects. In and out. This way, that way. That's why the true motherfucking spiritual masters, they connect all those different beliefs together. That's what this shit's about. And once you start seeing things for what they are, that's when religion doesn't matter to me anymore. It never did, but, you know, for you to understand what I'm making, the point that I have a greater understanding of why this shit doesn't matter to me anymore. There you go. Because I could see voodoo in Christianity. In fact, that's where they got, well, I shouldn't say voodoo. That's not where they got it from. But the whole Osiris, like the Jesus story, it's not the only story. Like, it's not, you know, it's not the only story, niggas. I'm sorry. Now, early on, in my journey, I was interested in that. That's when I did that research. It just got to a point where I realized it was so obvious. It's like, okay, I got to move on from that. But as me being a spiritual healer now and talking that shit, I don't know, man. Google that shit, nigga. Like, there's a bunch of Jesus stories out there. It's not the same. I mean, it might be a few small differences, but ultimately they're talking about the same thing. What was the Zeus thing? How was that nigga? Not Zeus. Zeus was the dad. The son. Jesus. Hercules. Jesus. Shit, I don't want to fuck you up. I was going to say me, Jesus, but I'm going to let that slide. Because ultimately, that's what the whole story is about, man. It's about choosing yourself, knowing who you are, transcending yourself, going through your different evolutions, and get yourself ready for the ultimate sacrifice, which is as you're growing, as you came to understand a lot of these things, and then last but not least, now you're going to have to kill yourself. Meaning, as you about to attain that greater state of mind, as you're going through it, you'll know. That's when you become initiated. That's when now, your talk is different. Those who knows know. That's when you start talking different, baby. You start seeing the world in a whole different perspective. Those who knows know. If you're going through it, you'll know. You're awakening to yourself. You're awakening to your environment on a whole different perspective or level. But the ultimate sacrifice got to be done. It's got to be done. So, as you understand the false self, and now that you got to align yourself to your true self, and you're doing your shadow work, because as you're stepping into or towards your true self, listen, it is the true light. It's going to start, the shadow is going to start revealing itself. That's why I always tell people, and this is funny too, because I don't know. That's why I'm not too big on book recommendations. I would tell you a book, but I don't know if that's the best way to go. And I'm going to tell you why. I have read books that I had like 10 years ago that I had to go back to, and now they have a whole different meaning to me. Okay, another way of saying this is that the book can always help you based on your level of understanding. So I could give you a book recommendation right now and it won't do shit for you. I know how meaningful that is until now you reach on that state of mind that I am, not necessarily the same, or you start grasping certain things, then the book's going to be meaningful to you. See, I went the scholar route, but it's not about scholarship. You got to understand that, though. That's why niggas who are giving you book recommendations, they are building other scholars. It's all fine and dandy. But this knowledge that I'm talking about here had nothing to do with being a scholar. Yes, I study too. But there's a state of mind that I reached, that I attained, that enabled me to decipher. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. When I first started on my journey, I was reading niggas like Carl Jung, Joseph Campbell's, and all them niggas. Right? Then you're going to see a lot of spiritual teachers, that would be the foundation. But that's truly the European, sort of like if you want to talk about new age. Because they use that term for a fucking purpose. I remember I used to listen to Brother Panic, right? This nigga said, well, they're saying new age, but it's really our spirituality, which is facts. But there's a reason why they're saying new age, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Not so much because they're not truly concerned about you niggas. Oh no, they're not concerned about you. They're concerned about their survival. And they are genuinely going through what they're going through. Now us, as we are awakening to that knowledge, we are going through them. That's why we can't, listen, man, you have to awaken that thing in you. Case in point, when I started reading fucking Joseph Campbell, then I realized this motherfucker was a racist. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the type of racist like, and I think Bobby Hemmy said that best. He said, the true racist is not the white person that's telling you fuck black people. No. And that motherfucker is so on point, if you're asking me. It's your universities. The true racists are your fucking universities. The lawmakers. These niggas, what you call in the justice system, is that very system that's fucking you up. And that's what you don't understand. You fighting for justice. They created justice. That's their justice. You ain't shit as a nigga. You a second citizen. You know what I'm saying? Every damn fucking other nations, who, like, you have Jesse Jackson, like, representing you. Like, this is telling you the law is not representing you. Is there an Italian Jesse Jackson? Or what was the other motherfucking name? I don't know. Nobody else has it but niggas. You always have a second. Trump has his shit. He was talking to who he wanted to talk to for African American. Isn't that a country for everybody? Including niggas, immigrants, and all that shit? But specifically for African Americans. He had to talk to my man Ice Cube. And Ice Cube did not take the deal. I don't know what it was. I didn't give a fuck, but I knew enough. I heard of that, and then that was, nigga, you already know. I'm like, what? Ice Cube, nigga? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We in the club. Ain't nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I vibe to that shit all day, every day. But it's just a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they did the same thing with fucking hip-hop too. Yo, it's good to see young niggas getting money, man. Like Dave Chappelle was talking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like after the 9/11 shit, then you asking Ja Rule about what the fuck. He said he had to stand up when he talking there. Well, Ja Rule may not have some answers you're looking for, dog. What would I do without you? That's what the niggas doing. You know what I'm saying? Why you getting this nigga involved in what's happening with the world, man? You know what I'm saying? Like all your leaders, the people that are being, you know what I'm saying? Like even hip hop, man, like it's gangsters, man, gangster music. Now I ain't got nothing against it though. Shit, nigga, I'm hip hop like a motherfucker. Don't get it fucked up now. But what I'm trying to say is there's also an agenda that's behind it too. Because they understand what you're looking at has a lot of influence on you. Your role models have a lot of influence on you. People based on who their role models are. I mean, act in a lot of ways Why? Because you've been taught not to be yourself. So the ultimate sacrifice means you got to let all that shit go. So I'm going as far as, trying to explain this to you just so you understand the world that's being put in front of you and why you've never been able to align yourself with yourself. There's no growth. If you're reading the Bible, you don't see yourself as Jesus. How helpful is that? But if you're looking at him as a motherfucker who did what he did, but you can do it too, he's your inspiration, now that's different. And for that, this nigga doesn't have to be white. Definitely not being white. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not being white. So this nigga will just be a nigga. You seeing that shit, you like, oh shit. And that's what our fucking history has always been about. That's why symbol is important. Have that shit around you. Make sure you know what you're doing because you're pulling, that energy from the darkness into the light. And it gives you power over it. Just like when you have your budget. Have your budget and follow it. You'll see. Have your budget, motherfucker. Have all your bill listed at the end of the month. Just saying. You know how much money you got coming in, how much money you spending, how much money for food shopping and all that shit. Break that shit down, you'll see. It gives you power over it, man. Take that shit for granted all you want. But it's okay. Once you wake up to it, it's the same shit. That's why it's important to have these things around you. Shit. Y'all. I got some shit today. Oh man. I ain't even ready to talk about it. I don't know if I want to make it public yet. But all you need to know for now is that the ultimate sacrifice is you, and you got to do that. It's vital for your growth. And the key word is transformation. So it's not really dying, and I don't want to say the word die, but if you understand what the word die is simply transformation. So depending on what type or how you look at it, by me saying sacrifice, you may look at it as, just death. That's gone. When you sacrifice something, you kill it and it's gone. But this sacrifice here, and if you look at the Jesus sacrifice, he sacrificed himself and then he resurrected, meaning he transformed. He got a higher state of mind. That's the sacrifice that I'm talking about. And I even used the example on the lamest terms, using nerds, these niggas. Pleasure over a higher state of pleasure. That's what a lot of niggas don't know. That's when you choose yourself, there's a pleasure. Like, I find pleasure in reading my books. It's like crazy. Like, before I was approaching this from a scholar perspective. So meaning it was about the amount of work that was being done. But once I reached that state of mind in myself, then my book now became an interaction. So I'll give you a perfect example. Now, a simple 200 to 100 pages book will last me even like 2-3 months, nigga. Whereas in the past, that shit was 1 or 2 days. And I had to learn speed reading too. The interaction is different. The way I'm approaching is different. But there was something in me that had to be awakened first. Now it's a fucking interaction with me in this book. It's like, why this nigga saying this? What the fuck? What is he trying to say? Oh, he said that after this. Now it's making sense. It's like a whole, shit, nigga. I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab. So that's why my approach is not to give you that scholarship shit. Because I went through it and I was just reading a number of books. Yes, I had grown. I have growth. But not, there was something missing. And there's nothing like once you awakening that monster inside of you, now you start reading a book, now the book is making sense. You can even start at the very beginning and then you already see where the book is going. You could just close that shit down and go on to the next one, nigga. Because now you become the book. What are we talking about? So I'm not here to build scholars because you're going to fall short. The European society have a lot of scholars. They still arguing words, intellectual masturbation. That's what scholars, for the most part, produce. But when you truly become spiritual, when you're in touch or you have unlocked that side of you, now those books are literally became your food, though. That's what that shit is to me. I'm eating, nigga. Like literally. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, let me pause. I gotta put this shit down. Oh, what the fuck this motherfucker just said? Okay. But that thing has already awakened in me. Do you see what I'm saying? At that point, it becomes quality over quantity for me. You feel me? And I'm not in a rush anymore either. Not that I was in a rush, but you had that sense of urgency. Let's get this thing done. All right, scholar. Go get him. You understand what I'm saying to you? And that's why a lot of the African spiritualists or the African niggas or the niggas who are speaking about African spirituality, they don't offer you that much of books. They go with you where you at right now because they understand the whole purpose of being intelligent. If you're intelligent in your mind, that's like, okay, what we're calling book smart. If you're book smart, you don't have any street smarts. I don't know. How valuable is your book smart? Do you see what I'm saying? So they always make you feel like the nerds are only book smarts. And this is not true. What do you think this government is? They book smart too, but they street smart. And I already talked about the whole street shit. Everything is on the streets, nigga. McDonald's in the streets. So when niggas are talking the streets, they're talking about illegal shit. Nah, but if you're talking about the streets, everything's in the streets, nigga. Your accountant is in the streets. Your motherfucking lawyers, your doctors, everybody's in the streets, man. Am I lying? Where the fuck is your hospital? If you get shot, you gotta go to the hospital. Where you gonna go? Isn't that the streets? The purpose of having books is to be regular smart, however the fuck you want to translate that. Okay, let's just use street smart, because when we talk about street smart, we're talking about application of knowledge. Well, that's the point of knowledge. That's why you got to see yourself as Jesus. If not, what the fuck are you doing? It doesn't make sense. doesn't make sense. Now you're a nigga that's falling for fairy tales. Now you guys are going for the fairy tales. You know that? You're going for the fairy tales, man. You understand what I'm saying? If what you're learning is not applicable into your life, doesn't change you, how powerful is knowledge? That's like if you're reading about the art of war, you're not applying the art of war into your life. Alright, well, it's good. I mean, you spent the time, I don't know. Knowledge is, you did something. You actually did something. I mean, I don't know how much of it you benefiting, but you did something. But the purpose of doing something, that type of thing, or any type of thing, if it's for you to reap the full benefit, I would assume. So the ultimate sacrifice is you. Meaning your ego, your fear. That's what you have to conquer, your fear. And you can't run away from that shit anyway. You could run, but you will not be able to hide. And the more you run, karma has its way of catching up to your ass, nigga. Sooner or later, bitch. Or niggas, doesn't matter. Sooner or later, it'll get to you. That's why the whole foundation to a higher state of consciousness is self-sacrifice. And that's what the sacrificial lamb, it's all about. And as the great Sifra Menel says it, the lion shall sit with the lamb. As you sacrifice yourself, now you have elevated to that higher state of mind. That's when you become balanced. Another way of saying that is the whole Anubis, having your heart as light as a feather. It's all talking about the same thing, but in all different aspects, because we're living in that multi-dimensional right here, right now. It's just different ways of saying different things, but talking about the same thing. Having your light as light as your heart, as light as a feather, is to fully transformed. It's to have a higher state of consciousness. That's what that shit is. Why? Because now you get to see things for what they are. And when you see things for what they are, there's no fucking illusion. There's no hard feelings. That's how you're able to forgive. Let shit go. But a lot of times, because a lot of people are afraid of dying, meaning they are afraid of that transformation, because they think the old them is going to be gone entirely. Which it will be, but think about it this way. What we call growing up, or when you grow from being a young man into, a man, your experiences has transformed. They're not gone. They're still there. You learn what you had to learn, but the experiences are still there. That's pretty much what the whole Akashic record is about. Everything's being recorded, baby, regardless of how many times it's being done. That's why I'm able to come in here and, access who I need to access to and get this shit done. Those many different aspects of myself. And here's something else too that I didn't even say. That sacrifice is the unification of my Ba and my Ka. So in one state you are operating just on your, lack of better terms, ego or your false self. And now you are, your intuition would pop, in and out, let you know, yo. But then You change that to now your intuition becomes the runner, and then now your intellect is there to support it. Not against it, but there to support it. So meaning, if you get an intuition now, some sort of intuitive messages, now you have to interpret it. You got to try to understand it. How do I put this together? The Spirit is telling me this. Now I got to put your intellect. And that's why as you grow spiritually, your ego expands as well. My God, our God. And I talked all about that. Your ego does not stop you from being spiritual. At all. At all. But, you know, the Europeans got fight clubs. Niggas are always fighting. There's always duality in all of their perspective, dog. It's always a fight for everything. What the fuck? There's a fight in everything for everything and everything. But true spirituality is ma'at, meaning is harmony. You combine it all. Oh shit. I was listening to this old African song that I used to listen to way back in motherfucking 2001 and 2000. That's way back I went with fucking African shit. But you also got to keep in mind there's a French African side and then you have the English side. What's popping right now is the English side, but the French side been out. I mean, if you a fucking English speaker, you probably would know that wouldn't be your shit. And that's the one thing too. I gotta say, a nigga like me too, or niggas who or the French side of that African shit, as far as the whole world. It's sort of like we get to see it before it fucking happened. It was just a matter of time. When I see people now are getting into the African shit, I'm like, oh shit, you're so late. That shit been out. But I'm saying all of that to say, this song that I was listening to, these niggas were talking about just dancing. So when you understand that your spirit, everything you do is the spirit revealing itself. So when we dance, and I was so captured by it when this motherfucker was saying, yo, when we say it's pretty much to free yourself, that's what dancing is. That's why we're not ashamed of our desires, of our sexuality, and none of that. And you know us niggas, we get down and dirty, nigga. It's all spiritual. Because when we're expressing that self, we really do that. And that's why you see in every fucking type of voodoo ritual that they're doing, there's always going to be dancing too. Because that's how you worship the spirit. In other words, the spirit that we are animated by. Because ever since as a child, when you're stepping out of your spirit, learning this world, putting things in your mouth, you know, that's how you're building the motherfucking ego and all of that shit. You're being conditioned. You're conditioning, you know, that side of you. Until you make that transition to know who you really are. You're going back home. The Prodigy son. It's the same story. Talking about the same shit. Then you realize, oh my God, all this time I had it. I didn't think I had it. That's why your Wonderland Alice, was it Alice Wonderland? Yeah. For like, I don't remember if it was Alice or it was something else. But anyway, it's all about. It's the journey. The journey of who? The journey of the spirit. Your journey. So everybody who's becoming conscious in this life went through the Christ path. You had to carry your cross. You had to go through that sacrificial lamb, which is killing yourself. And now you come back from the dead. Now you're preaching this shit. Hello? Now you're coming back from the dead. Now you're preaching this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to keep it there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what I'm saying, we definitely said enough. Now, with that being said, it's nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? So you are that ultimate sacrifice, baby. You're not going to die. You're just going to transform, baby. The caterpillar didn't die. So you're not going to die either, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Take that leap of faith. What's going to happen is, in that transformation, it's like you're still going to retain your individuality, but now you're becoming cosmic. So the cosmic, you know, you're going to have a better relationship. And that's what we do in voodoo when we do a lave tete. Meaning we washing your head, but most importantly, to wash your head, meaning we open up your third eye, your reception to the motherfucking cosmic. Now that's what these niggas are doing in voodoo. Now they do it through ritual. But you also got to be ready for it, because once they open up your head, or lave tetu, meaning you've been wash your, you know what I'm saying, they open up that thing for you. Now, how do you cope with that? You got to cope with it. Same shit too. If you take that bath, you know what I'm saying, listen, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to wash your state of mind now. It's got to be done in all aspect. So these niggas, you got to understand, they know how to deal with energy. And that's why, too, here's something else, too. True African spiritualists, that's why we don't talk about magic to other niggas. You'll never see Dr. Lila African talk about magic. You'll never see Professor Small talk about magic. There's a reason why we don't talk about it. Because we know you got to get yourself right first. Or the magic doesn't mean anything. Then you'll just be having fights among us. And that's what we do. Isn't it? That's why I know some bitches that tell me, nigga, you Haitian? I ain't fucking with you. I'm like, damn right, bitch. You're damn right. But anyway, do you get the point of what I'm saying? So that's why you got to have that state of mind. You know what I'm saying? That's why we are shit. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself together. Unlock your powers. Kill yourself. Not literally. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit's going out. You know what I'm saying? What? This ain't no occult shit. Don't follow me, please. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. But killing yourself in the sense of the false self. Renouncing to all this bullshit. The society's bullshit. To fucking idols. Stop worshiping idols. You know what I'm saying? Yo, watch all that bullshit. I'm not saying not to shit, nigga. I'm a fly nigga, dog. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do that. But listen. Nate, that's not what we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? You're not using it for what it is. You're using it to identify yourself. To show who you are. That's your problem. And that's what worshiping idol is. And that's the person that got to be killed. Shit. Lunch. This motherfucker should be put to shame in front of everybody. Like Jesus did. What did he say? He killed his flesh. That's what they said, right? He killed his flesh. I don't remember what the other part of it was. But that's your old self, man. Or the worldly desires. I mean, I don't like to say that because, I don't know, man. But the intention behind the worldly desires. Do you want to get a nice house for the Joneses? Or do you want to get it for you? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Because when you get on that side, when you transform your consciousness, nobody matters. Not because you're trying to belittle anybody, but it's because you come first. But because, in fact, because you appreciate them. Because now you know your money, your cars, those bullshit no longer represent you. Now you acknowledge somebody for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Come again, nigga. Like, you got a nice car? That's nigga. Get another one. If you got one, get another one. You got two, nigga. Get 4 or 5 or 4. I don't give a fuck. Do you see what I'm saying? What the fuck? Then now at this point, life becomes something else. Your transformation now, you're looking at people for who they are. That's at this point, you could have true compassion for other people. And that's why the monks say, namaste. That's a powerful statement. When you look at another motherfucker who doesn't know who they are, but you are humbling yourself to say, nigga, I see the God in you even when you don't see it in you. That's what fucking namaste is. And these niggas do that shit to humble themselves. Not to call you fucking dead. Get the fuck out of here, you dead. But namaste, motherfucker. I know you dead. Well, you wake up when it's time for you to wake up, bitch. There's a difference. That's where the compassion comes in. And that compassion comes with wisdom and emotion. It's a combination of wisdom with emotion. That's what compassion is. So if you have only the intellect without the emotion in it, you become rigid. You're not flowing, dog. Do you see what I'm saying? Then everything got to be wrong or right. No, it doesn't have to be. And sometimes being right, you could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Like I always use this fucking example. There was this bitch that did my hair. The bitch spent 2 hours in my hair talking about if I'm going to say if I don't like it. Why the fuck would I say that, bitch? Do I look stupid to you? You know what I'm saying? Do I look stupid to you? Nah, you spent 2 hours. Nah, I mean, shit. I mean, yeah. You know, niggas always love to talk about facts. Is that not a facts too? See, when you put all the facts in your facts, man, your facts become different. You just didn't add all the facts in your facts. Now, the one fact you'll probably add, yeah, bitch, it doesn't look good, that's it. But why are you neglecting this other fact? She did spend 2 hours, right? Yeah, I may not like it, but thank you, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta shout out this nigga, man. French, man. I appreciate everything. That's my shit, too. This nigga talking dirty out here. I didn't know this nigga was like that, though. I'm waking up to this nigga now. Shit. I'll make the days count, nigga. My nigga. Keep talking that shit, you hear me? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're talking about here. You know, we are truly talking about a higher state of consciousness. However, for you to do that, you got to turn your... Listen, well, here's another one too. Oh, this shit's kicking in. What's in this shit? The whole Gomorrah thing. I can't recall. You know what I'm saying? But you turn into a statue if you look back. All that shit is spiritual. You gotta let it go, man. That's the ultimate sacrifice, baby. You gotta do it. And that ultimate sacrifice is you. Once you do that, listen, man. You know, and that's all part of the dark night of the soul. And that's where I come in as a spiritual healer. Anybody who's going through it, holla at your boy, man. That's what we do on this side. We navigate, help you to get on that other side. And I've been giving out clues for you to understand. Listen, yourself, your true self, and your false self. Your ego, those are the foundations of what you need to understand. Then when you start eating from the tree of life now, then everything that you're going through now is a breakthrough. You never heard anybody says what's happening to you is not to you, is for you? Yeah, that's that higher state of mind. That's when you start looking at the world as being perfect. This shit is crazy. Now, your meaning of perfection is on a whole different level. Do you see what I'm saying? And there's some shit I could tell you guys, even on the fucking intellectual level, you can't even handle. Like, I don't know who I was talking to, but we were talking about some shit, and I'm gonna take it there. Fuck it. How can God be perfect with everything that's happening right now on earth? People are dying, war, and all that shit. Well, nigga, you gotta change your perception of that. You're responsible for it. Like, what the fuck? He's saying, easy. Yeah, nah, nigga, you're responsible for it. Because that's how you're looking at it. Is it not? I don't see it that way. Now, you may say that I'm lying to myself. Okay. All right. Now, let's take it a step further now, right? Because my whole definition of what perfection is just totally different. My perception of what death is different. You see it in nature all day, every day. You have your organic meal. Nature gives it to you, and nature also kill you too. You do have your organic poison too. You do know that? Well, that's perfection to me. That's balance to me, if you're asking me. So it's not about right or wrong. It's all about the bigger picture. Now, when you become cosmic, now you're seeing things on God's level. But if you're looking at it from a limited perspective, that's what you're going to say. And regardless of what you say, it comes from you, no matter how objective you're trying to be. You never heard a motherfucker like, yo, how can you think so positive and shit? What, would you like me to step into your world? That's what you want. You want me to see it from your lenses. In other words, you're trying to drag me into your world. And you're saying this is the truth. No, that's your world, bitch. You accept it. I don't know, like, what the fuck do you call reality? It's what you make it. That's all it is, man. Call me crazy all you want, but at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. It's your perspective. It came out of your mouth, your way of seeing the world. So that's why my whole thing, like, about Tupac, you're living in a white world. Yeah, that's your perspective of it. Maybe you're looking for their validation. And that's what I see. That's what I see. And I even used that fucking example in my last video, right? You know, where, you know, because I recently moved down to fucking Atlanta, right? I'm in Georgia now, right? And You know, like, yo, they have so many black nigga shit down here. Like, there was this nigga, he was protesting against Houston restaurant. Nigga, what are you doing? You shouldn't even have time to go there. Let alone, now you're protesting in fucking Georgia too? That's a disgrace, man. Niggas, I don't know. Maybe my philosophy is all fucked up, man. I'll take it. I'll gladly take it. I mean, shit. I'll be insane. But I love that insanity, though. I'd rather that. Because it gives me my self-esteem. Right? So it's all your perceptions, man. You know what I'm saying? How can we live down here? And not even that. Niggas that got money, too. I don't want to call out no names. But it was a nigga that got money that you know what I'm saying, known in the hip-hop world and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, that should have just been like, let me open up my own fucking shit. When you want to have your black meetings, your black excellence, whatever, well, come, check me out, nigga. Go to Ludacris, what the fuck is that shit? Chicken and beer shit. Or would you rather complain? Another way of saying that, would you rather look for a validation? All of that is the root of, you know, pleasing other people. Not knowing who you are. And regardless of how much money you got, obviously, niggas who have money fighting for that, when you could create your own fucking restaurant, you don't know who you are. You don't even know what kind of money you got. Can you open up a restaurant? Is that part of the plan? But you have many cars and bitches throwing money, though, right? Come on, niggas. I'm not living in that world, nigga. Call me delusional all you want. I'm not living in a white world, nigga. I'm living in the l'esprit world, nigga. Shit. This life I'm living is a spiritual life, motherfucker. Now, granted, I'm not denying, let's just say, if I got to get money, you know, because I understand what this is. I'm exchanging my fucking energy. Or it's exchange of energy. Do you see what I'm saying? Because the whole purpose of turning you, of the whole William Lynch shit, is to lock your spirit down. It's to get you closed-minded. That's what slavery is all about. And to make you depending or codependent on them. Because for you not to be a slave, you would have to be independent. But first, you would have to be independent mentally. So again, even the whole slavery shit, if you only in tune with yourself. And that's why when Bobby Hemmett says that shit, and I believe that is a fact, he said, yo, we tried so many different ways. We tried the political shit and then shit. Then he realized spirituality is the key. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But not spirituality to say, fuck Earth, you're getting off of this planet. No. Spirituality in the sense of you knowing who you are and claiming your power. Shit, if anybody got to say fuck Earth, let these motherfuckers say fuck Earth and get off this Earth. Nigga, I'm comfortable everywhere. I'm everywhere. If I'm here, nigga, this is what's up. Nah, this nigga's gonna say fuck Earth while I'm here. Not vice versa. So spirituality is the key to take you out of that slavery mentality because it allows you to know who you are. So just like I said, I'm not in that world. You also can say you're not living in that world either, because now you would understand what it means to live in somebody else's world. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when you know yourself, shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I heard some other spiritual niggas would be talking about the degrees that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to say that I have mine just because I'm not going to front because I haven't. But it's not because it's an act, you know what I'm saying? It's not not an accolade or it's not adding to me that now that I'm talking this shit, now I know what I'm talking about because I got a degree. You know what I'm saying? It's not a form of validation, nigga. Not for me. Yes, I went through it. Oh, of course, man. Come on, man. We're all raised in it. But it's not what you do. That's how, you know what I'm saying? That's how you use it. Mm-hmm. So that's why you got to get your mind back. Most importantly, start by killing yourself, motherfucker. With that being said, you already know, Haitien, Mali, Bravo.